Hello, everyone. I am Denise Evans. This is the Sports Chat Network, and happy holidays. So I am so elated to have Coach Earvin Moore on. This interview is really special for me because we both come from the same small town in Wiggins, Mississippi. So huge shout out to Wiggins. But the other thing that is so exceptional about this interview for me is that I'm talking to a young man who really turned his passion into his calling. So, Coach Moore, thank you for taking time out of your holiday schedule. We're going to get right into it, okay?
All right.
What school do you coach for, and what is your position on their coaching staff?
Right now, I coach at Port Allen High School in West Baton Rouge. I'm currently the offensive coordinator.
All righty, good stuff. Now, look, I ask every athlete out the gate, when did you know that football was your passion?
Well, growing up in a small town in Wiggins, I can remember being in elementary school and at my grandma's house, walking through the pathway where the,
Mm-hmm.
the old health department used to be at, down to the
Yep.
high school to watch those guys practice. And I think it was 1998. They
Mm.
went to state, they lost to Gaucher. But at that moment, I was like, man, I want to be a Tomcat. Just to see the energy that everybody had in the community. Like they shut the whole town down just to go watch
Hey,
them play.
I
I
believe it.
Yep.
I believe it. Now, one of the things that I have to let people know that is that although we come from the same small place, we do not know one another personally. So when I saw your information, on different social media networks, I was so impressed and I was like, I have to have this conversation with him. Now, because we don't know each other, of course, I made a call back home and I'm like, I'm just trying to figure out, his athleticism. And I was told two things. He's a great athlete and an amazing running back. Coach Moore, please take us on your football journey from the first time you touched football to college. Talk to us.
I think the first time I touched the football, I had to be about 8 years old. It's like organized football.
Hmm.
Really didn't want me to play, so I had to convince her to let me play. So I kind of made a compromise, and that was to play flag football. I didn't want to. I hated it. I wanted to tackle. I mean, we tackled every weekend at my grandma's house with my cousin. Um, but that turned out to be the best thing for me, to make the defenders miss. Just build on my craft at an early age. Playing flag football was really the best thing for me.
Wow. Now let me ask you something. You went from there. I know you played for Stone High. So where did you go after Stone High?
Um, so after my time at Stone High, I had some interest from Southern Miss and
Mm.
Memphis. Um, went to two camps. Didn't really run as well as I knew I could.
Yeah.
Right at 4.57 and a 4.62.
Mm.
So didn't get that offer that I wanted. But lo and behold, the best place for me was 3 minutes down the road, down at Perk.
Yep.
Um, Uncle was on staff. I already knew a bunch of the guys on the team because my
Yep.
cousin was playing cornerback. So I end up going to Stone. I mean, not Stone. I'm sorry. End up going to Perk,
Hey,
um,
that's good stuff.
and played behind the All American. Um,
Ooh,
so 4 years,
that right?
end up playing behind Larry Warner. Uh,
Ooh, that's good stuff.
so yeah, they brought out some competition.
And people don't know that when they think about Mississippi, statistically, we are at the bottom in a lot of categories. But historically, Mississippi breeds great athletes. And that's no exception when it comes to football, whether we talking Walter Payton to Malcolm Butler. You talked about growing up in small town Mississippi. What was the football culture there like?
The football culture was rich. I mean, some of the best athletes that I've ever seen, in my opinion, come out of Wiggins, Mississippi. Um,
Hmm.
Made it to the next level. I think that's what kind of makes me unique, with the recruiting aspect when I was coaching college or even working in the personnel department in the NFL. Just seeing it every day and then
Hmm.
playing inside it in JUCO, having 10 to 12 guys go to the NFL and then getting back in coaching,
Yeah.
um, just knowing what it looks like.
Mm. Now, I have to ask, and I don't want to put your business out there. How old are you?
I'm 36. I just had a birthday in November. So 30.
Okay. Happy belated birthday. Now, I wanted to emphasize your age because I think it's so important, especially for young players, to know that they have a life on both sides of the football. And whether it's on the field or whether it's in the front office, there's a place for you if that's your passion.
Right.
Let me ask, what did you do in the Cleveland Browns organization and how did you get there?
Well, first of all, I got there through some mutual friends when I was working at the coast, talking to various scouts when they come and ask for information on players that were entering the draft. And when they would come, they came so regularly that, I had to kind of make time. Well, I didn't really have to make time, but I had to be prepared because I had NFL scouts coming to ask for information about kids that are already gone to the next level. At the same time, I'm having Division I coaches come in and recruit the current players that we had. So I created a little system and a database that had all the information for the kids that left, and then the database with the kids that we currently had on rosters. And one of the scouts was impressed. He was like, "Man, you on top of it, bro. You really hungry." He said, "If
Mm-hmm.
anything comes up on my end, I'll be sure to reach out to you." And that went in one ear and out the other because
Yeah.
you know coaches come through, they're recruiting kids,
Mm-hmm.
they job if you can help them get sign the top player. So I
Yeah.
really putting in the stock into it. And about 2 years later, I got a phone call asking would I be interested to
Mm.
be an front office.
Wow. What was that experience like?
It was awesome. Getting up at about 6 o'clock in the morning. Um, I'm a film junkie, so watching film to about 9. During practice, they had practice. Practice was filmed.
Yeah.
Um, by the time we walk back in the facility, the practice is uploaded. So now we're grading film on the guys that just got drafted, and we're trying to see if we made the right decision. And then we also looking at guys that are free agents who we may need to bring in if this running
Yeah.
back doesn't pay. So constantly grading film every day is an interview, and then as well we were looking at this had to be Dak Prescott senior year, so we were watching film on Dak Prescott,
Mm.
Jared, Cody Kessler, that quarterback class.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. It's nothing like having a high football IQ. And I tell people, like, I love football, but my IQ is kind of low when it comes to talking football. So I know that you're an offensive coordinator. Now, you had to correct me on that, okay?
Yeah.
For everybody who doesn't have a high football IQ, what is it exactly that an offensive coordinator does?
Well, we try to number one, we try to find the weakest link on the opponent's defense, and then find a way to put our best guy to attack their weakest link, whether that be in the run game, on the back end, where the free safety is. Normally, that's in the middle of the field,
Hmm.
uh, or putting our best receiver on their worst cover guy. Don't make it too complicated. Stay simple, and basically, guys make you look like you know what you're doing.
Hey, it's always good to have great allies and good people on your team. So I'm with that. Now, you talked about coaching at the collegiate level also. I didn't know about that. So let
Yeah.
me ask you something. What is the difference, do you think, coaching collegiate versus coaching high school?
The difference would be definitely the speed of the game.
Mm.
It's extremely fast, very, very physical. Every play is physical. High school, it can be pretty physical in the trenches, O line, D line, but college, from front to back, sideline to sideline, is very, very physical.
Mm.
Um, and then the size of the athletes.
Wow.
And defensive linemen run like corners, you know.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Linebackers like safeties. So you got to be on your A game.
Wow. Now let me ask you something. Being that you were a player, how does that enhance your experience as an offensive coordinator?
Um, I would say just recognizing talent and putting guys in the best situation. That kind of helps you along those aspects. Not much so as like X's and O's.
Hmm.
Uh, Putting guys in the right position to make plays. I know you probably go to football games and you hear people in the stands. Oh, he's not in the right position.
Yeah.
Coach got. That's one of the main things in high school. A kid may not be a quarterback, on the next level in college. But if he's your best athlete, typically you want to keep the ball in his hands. So it would
Hmm.
be to make sure that guy has the ball, so put him at quarterback.
I like how you set me up. So this helps me segue into my next question. Knowing what you know, what are you looking for in young players?
Right now, dedication, determination. Those are the main two, because these kids, they got it a lot tougher, and I had it when I was coming through. There's so many distractions out there. Social media is on another level. I think when I was in junior college, they had MySpace, and and now there's so many different avenues, and
Hmm.
so that tends to kind of be a distraction.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
you do something good or you do something bad in the game, and people will build you all the way up to now you don't feel
Hmm.
coaches, or they tear you all the way down, and you feel like you can't even play the next game. So just having kids and having players with that mindset that it's a grind. Um,
Hmm.
Stay focused and be determined to get what you want to get.
Yeah, that's true. I love that. Now let me ask you something. What is it like? You've been on both sides of the football. So what is it like being a coach versus being a player?
It's different, because I can remember being a player.
Mhm.
And I graduated college in 2010 and started coaching in 2011. So you know,
Wow, out the gate.
I was on the other side. So that was kind of crazy because I graduated from Nickel State, came
Mm.
back and started out as a running backs coach at Gulf Coast. And
Wow.
some of the players that were on the team. So that was kind of different,
You came
from
full circle. What a blessing. What a
being
blessing.
as in recruiting and then turning around and ended up coaching some of them. So that was very humbling, but a big, big, big responsibility.
And let me ask you, what do you think are the necessary strengths in order to be a great athlete?
Heart, heart.
Mm.
You got to have it. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people out there that are the same size as you or taller, strong as you or stronger, um, fast as you or faster. But you got to have that mindset that you know you're here to compete, and that's what I look for in kids that who love to compete. Because a lot of times those great athletes, they may not work as hard, and
Mm.
defeated one time, they tank. They never lost. So having that extra edge, to compete, that's probably the biggest strength, like being a competitor.
Wow. Now, we come from the Bible Belt, so I have to ask, um, how has faith played a part in your journey?
Uh, Faith played a major, major, major role, again, because I graduated college and started out as a grad assistant, in JUCO, and I was making $125 a month. I had a dorm room and a food card. That's it. That's it. So, um, I don't know how I made it, but I made it. If I would have listened to some people, I don't know where I'd be right now. But I
Mm.
kept it and stayed with it, and now I'm able to provide for my family now.
That's a blessing. God guided your steps. I tell people all the time, we are here based on the grace of God and the prayers of others. So that is a blessing.
Exactly.
Coach Moore, I can't thank you enough. And reason being, and I'm not just thanking you for conversing with me. I see what you do in your community, but you are also a part of that mechanism that is molding the minds of great athletes. And there is so much to say about that. I wanted to interview you because, again, you're 36 years old and you're making great strides. Let me
Appreciate it.
ask you something. What are your future endeavors? What does the future look like for you as far as football is concerned?
Well, football is a being a football coach is a it's a funny profession. Around the holidays, a lot of movement normally happens. Coaches get fired, hired, moved around. So I tell my wife all the time, like, hey, it's resume season. Um,
I get it.
People are looking for assistants on the college level. High schools are looking for head coaches.
Yeah.
So I'm always going to entertain those offers, and if it benefits my family, I'm gonna jump on it.
Most
So
definitely. Hey,
just I'm where my feet are right now. I'm
that's
doing
what's
it,
up.
but
Well, I know where you came from, okay? And to be where you are now, I can only salute you, tip my hat to you. And again, it's just important that young players see that they have a place on and off the field. If football is really what drives them. Now, I have one last question for you. When you get up every day and you get ready to go out there and you're getting ready to do your thing, what is your motivation? What drives you?
every day is different. Um, it depends what day I walk out. Which way I walk out my house.
Yeah.
To be honest, if I take the garage, I may be in a different mindset. But if I walk through the front doorway, there's a picture of my mom with a candle right there, and I
Oh,
think way out. But one of my coaching buddies told me a while back. He said, "Man, on your worst day, you can be one of these kids' last hope."
mm,
So stick with me, like no matter what I'm going through, there's a 15, 16, 17 year old, young man, young woman, that's looking to us for guidance. So
yes,
that keeps me grounded, that keeps me going.
yes. Well, hey, you keep on doing what you're doing. Thank you. I couldn't wait to sit down and have a conversation with you. And now that I have, like, I'm so excited for what the future holds for you. I can tell that you are a bright light in so many young people's lives. Continue to do what you do. We will talk again, okay, and have a more extended interview. We just getting started, but I wanted the people to just get a bar of you. Earvin, thank you so much. Excuse me, Coach Moore. I'm gonna put some respect on your name. Thank you so much.
That's my name, coach. What I do. So you call me Earvin. That's fine.
Hey, thank you so much. You enjoy your holidays, and I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you for having me on.
Most definitely.